Welcome viewers, Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Gosford, the Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for coming in. Fresh back from Sydney, from Christmas celebrations and whatnot. Had a good time. In one way or another, we've all got hangers on. And the hangers on can block blessings. They can be blessing blockers. And as you become aware of that, and as you begin to realize that you're enabling dysfunction, and you start setting up boundaries and bringing things into an order where these people aren't being disabled and groomed to rely on us, because I've got adult children too. It might mean that some of them go, it might mean that some of them step up, but it will all come down to the boundaries that you have in place for the benefit of everyone involved. Guys just caught a fish. People believe in boundaries, other people don't. Maybe another way of saying it is order, having things in order. But one thing's for sure, if you have hangers on in your life and they're just leeching on you, they're just depending on what you've done in life or what you're doing for life, and they're just hanging around because it's easier to rely on you than it is to make a life of themselves, they will block your progress in life. Mentally, financially, relationship-wise, physically, they will block your progress in life, because your mind will be focused on carrying them. You're carrying an anchor. You're carrying a backpack on your back with weights in it in the spiritual realm. That's what you're doing. And instead of these people walking on their own 2 feet, they come to rely on you. They rely on you to support them, to carry them, to financially enable them, to supply them with whatever it is they want. And you might not always be able to do that, but what that is doing at the same time is taking you off your course. And a lot of people lose their blessing. They miss their blessing. They get robbed of their blessing because they've allowed people to piggyback off their work and determination. But what happens then is they start to cordial, they start to salt water into fresh water into your private life. They begin to enmesh because it's convenient for them to do that. They become over-reliant. And the problem with it is, a lot of the time, we've groomed these people to be that way because it makes us feel good about ourselves. But that doesn't mean it is good. Just because something feels good doesn't mean it is good. People like the feeling of alcohol. People like the feeling of medication. People like the feeling of the devil's lettuce. People like the feeling of all those other recreational drugs. But it doesn't end well for those people. Their feelings deceive them into thinking that something that is good, something that is bad is good, when it's not. It's just bad, and that's all there is to it. It's bad for us to enable adult children to be reliant on us. Yeah, help, it's fine. It's healthy to help, it's healthy to assist, but not when it's in a way of grooming them to become reliant on us. Because people will take the easy way out, especially when times are tough. If you're trying to be the psychiatrist for somebody in the family and you're not, what makes you think they're going to go to a psychologist or whatever they need when they need it? You've groomed them into thinking that the answer's at home, but it's not in most cases. It's just not. There's more to it than that. And we groom these people into believing that it's okay to leech on us and to depend on us instead of taking the necessary steps that they need to get somewhere in life like we did. Many of you have wasted a lot of your life on choices that didn't mean anything except to fulfill certain inner passions and desires and addictions. It was never going to mean anything or be anything or end up as anything. It was all just going to be waste. Waste. And waste is real. People waste their lives every day. I've built wonderful relationships with women. Beautiful relationships. And they just haven't been able to present themselves in a way in which they were going to be able to sustain it. They had characteristic flaws that caused them to be asked to leave. Dealing with your own difficulties in life, let alone having people leeching on you, is hard enough. But if you add 2 or 3 more people into a private relationship, it's not going to work. It doesn't work. It's not going to work. It's called enmeshment. They get maimed. You get maimed. You feel like you've been let down and disappointed. They feel like they've been dropped and abandoned. There's a lack of self-awareness, there's a lack of accountability or responsibility or confrontation to bring a sense of any of that. People just ride it out for as long as they can until they're told to go. Until there's nothing left. And that doesn't mean that, you all didn't love each other or whatever. Just means that it was not functional. It was not going to be able to be sustainable. It wasn't maintainable. The unresolved undermined the health of the relationship, the benefits of the relationship, the reason for the relationship, which is 2 people in a private, intimate environment, to be able to express each other and love each other in a way that brings power for them to then go out and produce for the relationship and those around them where appropriate. Some of us are just handing out support and benefits like lollies, and we can't afford it ourselves, and we shouldn't do that because you're weakening that person from going out and hunting. If you keep giving someone rabbit, they ain't going to go find a rabbit. If you keep giving people the answers for things and it might just be a band-aid, they ain't going to go find the answers. The other thing is too, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can have these answers in front of it. I've shown people, I've brought them into the stark light, the blessing of the light, and you've seen them. I've seen them thinking, this is fantastic. How do I stay in this? And they've just been unable. There's been no way that they were going to be able to stay in that light. So they go back to the darkness. And those that are looking at them and following them go back or stay in the darkness as well, because that's where everyone's leading each other back into the dark. I was never going to go into the dark. I was never going to be a part of the dark. But the light was there the whole time. This is the whole complexity of accountability and responsibility in the end. Because we will all appear before the maker of everything around us and the maker of who we are. We will appear before that judgment seat, and we'll give an account for what we've done, good or bad. Not who we've helped or who we haven't, what we've done, good or bad. That's what we'll give an account for. Because a lot of what we do is built on ego and self-praise and self-righteousness, and it's really not going to add to anything whatsoever. Nothing. And none of us are perfect, and some have done more than others and all the rest of it, but that's where it's personal. There ain't going to be no hangers-on when you turn up to the judgment seat of Christ and he stands there and he goes, well, why did you do this and why did you do that? And you're standing there going, what? And he's just going to go, well, the light was there the whole time and you didn't choose to have it. You saw the light and you didn't go with it. You went back into the darkness. You didn't want to better yourself. You just wanted to sit and stay where you were comfortable in the darkness. You belong in the darkness. Off you go, more darkness. But the light was there the whole time.